Most people don't lose visceral fat not because they're lazy, but because they're unknowingly following the wrong fasting rhythm or eating the wrong thing the moment they break their fast. I used to be one of them. I'd fast for hours, drink black coffee, and wait for that magic, fat, burning window. But somehow, my belly never changed. I was doing everything right, but nothing was happening. It wasn't until I realized that the problem wasn't fasting itself. It was how I was fasting and what I was eating afterward. The truth is, your body doesn't start burning fat just because the clock hits 16 or 20 hours. Fat loss begins when your hormones align, when insulin drops low enough and stays low, when your metabolism feels safe enough to release stored fat, and when your first meal after fasting doesn't send your blood sugar skyrocketing again. Once I learned that balance, everything changed. I finally saw that flat, lean look I'd been chasing for years, not by eating less, but by eating smarter and timing my meals properly. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact 3-week roadmap that resets your metabolism and burns off visceral fat from the inside out. You'll learn exactly when to fast, what to eat, and how to combine recovery cycles so your hormones stay in full fat burning mode. It's all based on real metabolic science. No gimmicks, no starvation, no guesswork. Because when insulin is controlled, when your body is nourished, and when fasting becomes a rhythm instead of a punishment, that's when fat loss finally becomes visible and sustainable. So if you had just 3 weeks to reset your body and finally burn that stubborn belly fat, would you commit 100%? In the first week, the goal isn't to push harder or fast longer, it's to reset your insulin and wake your metabolism back up. Because here's what's really happening inside your body. Most people are stuck in sugar burning mode. Their cells have become so used to running on glucose that they've forgotten how to access stored fat. Insulin, the hormone that decides whether you're burning or storing energy, stays constantly elevated. Not from overeating, but from constant little spikes throughout the day. Every sip of flavored coffee, every stress-induced cortisol rush, every small bite of healthy snacks keeps insulin up just enough to block fat loss completely. The first 7 days are all about reversing that. You're retraining your body to switch from sugar burning to fat burning mode. This happens through a simple yet powerful rhythm. Fasting windows like a 16-8 or 18-6 paired with clean carnivore-based meals. The purpose isn't deprivation, it's stabilization. When you give your body consistent windows of rest from insulin, it starts to relearn metabolic flexibility. During this first week, you'll start to notice a different kind of hunger, not the anxious, carb-craving kind, but a calm, steady signal from your body. That's your hormones beginning to communicate properly again. To support this, hydration becomes essential. Your body releases more water and electrolytes when insulin drops, so make sure you're adding mineral-rich salt, magnesium, and potassium to your water. This keeps your energy stable and your metabolism active. Sleep is another silent regulator. When you're sleep deprived, cortisol rises and insulin resistance sneaks back in overnight. So think of each night as your recovery phase. That's when your body heals, detoxifies, and builds the foundation for fat burning. Now let's talk about nutrient timing. What you eat and when you eat it matters more than how much. The moment you break your fast, your body is incredibly sensitive to nutrients. That first meal either signals fat storage or fat oxidation. By starting with high, quality animal protein and natural fats, you send a message to your metabolism: burn, don't store. Protein activates thermogenesis, meaning your body actually uses energy to digest it, while fat keeps your hormones balanced and your blood sugar stable. In this first week, think simple. Keep meals clean, rabe, eggs, salmon, butter, salt. No plant fibers, no artificial sweeteners, no hidden carbs. The fewer insulin triggers you have, the faster your cells become insulin sensitive again. You might feel a temporary energy dip or some cravings. That's just your body switching fuels. Within days, you'll feel the shift: clearer mind, lighter stomach, and more consistent energy. By the end of week 1, your body will have begun remembering how to access stored fat as its main fuel. This is the foundation. Don't think of it as a diet. It's a biological reset. You're giving your metabolism permission to work the way it was designed to. So while everyone else is still chasing calories or trying to outfast, Their hormones, you'll be building metabolic strength from the inside out. This week isn't about losing all the fat at once. It's about unlocking the ability to burn it. And once you feel that shift, it's hard to go back. You'll start waking up lighter, less bloated, and more in control. That's the signal that your metabolism is waking up and that fat burning is finally happening behind the scenes. Have you ever done a 7-day metabolic reset? And what changes did you feel? Week 2 is when everything starts to change, not just on the scale, but deep inside your metabolism. This is the stage where your body transitions from burning glucose to burning fat as its primary fuel. It's called fat adaptation, and it's the true beginning of transformation. In week 1, you reset insulin and woke your metabolism up. Now, you're teaching your body to live in a fat burning state, powered by ketones instead of sugar. When insulin drops low enough for long enough, your body finally gains access to stored fat. Fat is broken down into fatty acids, which your liver then converts into ketones. Clean, steady fuel that powers your brain, muscles, and metabolism more efficiently than glucose ever could. This is why people often feel sharper, calmer, and more energetic during this stage. Ketones are not just a backup fuel. They're your body's original natural energy source. To help this transition, week 2 is where you start extending your fasting windows slightly, moving from 16-8 or 18-6 to 23-4, or even trying alternate day fasting if your energy allows. But the key isn't fasting longer, it's fasting smarter. During your eating window, you still nourish your body deeply with nutrient-dense carnivore meals, high-quality protein, rich animal fats, and plenty of electrolytes. These nutrients keep your hormones stable while your metabolism reprograms itself to burn fat continuously, even while you rest. This is also where you might hit the fat adaptation wall. It's that short phase where your energy dips, your cravings flare, or your mood feels off. It's your body letting go of its sugar dependency, a detox, not a problem. Most people give up here, thinking it's not working, but this is actually the moment before your body breaks through. Hydration and electrolytes are everything right now. Add salt to your water, sip bone broth, and keep meals simple. Avoid any sneaky sweeteners or low-carb snacks that might spike insulin. They can pull you right back into sugar burning mode. Once your body crosses this threshold, fat burning becomes effortless. You'll notice steady energy all day, fewer cravings, and clearer mental focus. Even your hunger changes. You start eating out of rhythm, not habit. And beneath the surface, your visceral fat, the deep, dangerous fat around your organs, starts breaking down under the low insulin, high ketone environment. This is why week 2 is so powerful. You're not just losing water weight, you're targeting the kind of fat that blocks hormones and slows metabolism. To enhance this process, time your meals around your natural energy cycles. Break your fast when your body feels most alert, often midday or early afternoon, and eat until you're fully satisfied. Your goal isn't restriction, it's restoration. The more consistent your rhythm, the stronger your metabolic signal becomes. This week, you might also notice deeper sleep, better digestion, and reduced bloating. That's your body entering repair mode, healing from years of inflammation and sugar overload. Every time you stay in that calm, fat-burning state, your metabolism grows more efficient and your hormones more balanced. The second week is often the hardest, but it's also the most rewarding. You're teaching your body to trust you again, to release stored fat instead of clinging to it. If you can push through just 7 more days, everything starts to click, fasting becomes easier, cravings disappear, and your energy stabilizes in a way you may not have felt in years. So as you move through this stage, remind yourself this is not struggle, it's transformation. You're not depriving your body, you're finally giving it what it's been craving: balance, stability, and clean energy. Are you willing to push through one tough week to finally see visible results? By week 3, something incredible happens. Your body isn't just burning fat, it's a thriving in fat burning mode. The heavy cravings are gone, energy feels stable, and you finally start noticing those visible changes: a slimmer waist, a lighter face, and a feeling of genuine control over hunger and mood. This is what I call the VICE acceleration phase, where your metabolism works for you, not against you. The goal in week 3 isn't to push harder. It's to tune the rhythm between fasting, nourishment, and recovery. Your metabolism is like a flame. You want to keep it burning steadily, not flickering out. The most effective way to do this is by cycling high protein carnivore meals with as light fasting days. On feeding days, your focus should be nutrient density, ribeye, eggs, liver, butter, salmon. These meals rebuild lean muscle, support thyroid function, and keep your metabolism high. On lighter days, you can shorten your eating window, perhaps 24 or even a 24-hour fast to keep insulin low and fat oxidation active. This alternating rhythm keeps your body guessing, which prevents plateaus and reignites stubborn fat loss, especially around the belly and midsection. The science behind it is simple. When insulin remains low but protein intake stays high, your body protects muscle while continuing to draw energy from stored fat. It's the safest, most sustainable way to get visible results without the burnout or rebound that usually come with extreme fasting. To amplify fat loss even more, introduce Gentle's daily movement, like walking after meals. Post-meal walks help stabilize blood sugar, improve digestion, and accelerate fat oxidation by using the very glucose you just ate. This prevents even small insulin rises from halting fat burning. You don't need high-intensity workouts here. Your body is already doing deep metabolic work internally. Think of walking, stretching, or light mobility as your fat-burning enhancer, not your punishment. This is also the week to pay attention to Haas body cues, not the scale. Notice how your clothes fit, how your waistline feels, how your energy flows throughout the day. Many people find their mental clarity peaks in week 3, brain fog lifts, mood stabilizes, and motivation comes naturally. That's because your hormones, insulin, cortisol, leptin, have finally found balance. When these are aligned, your body stops fighting you and starts cooperating with your goals. Recovery becomes even more important now. Deep, consistent sleep restores your thyroid and supports growth hormone production, both crucial for fat loss and muscle preservation. Keep your AA electrolytes balanced with mineral water or sea salt throughout the day. It's the difference between steady energy and fatigue. And don't overlook our stress control. Elevated cortisol can undo your progress faster than any cheat meal. If stress hits, take a slow walk, practice breathing, or simply rest. Fat loss isn't just about calories and macros. It's about creating a safe environment for your body to let go of stored fat. By the end of this week, most people see their most visible transformation, not just physically, but mentally. You'll notice how your relationship with food has shifted. Meals feel peaceful, fasting feels natural, and energy feels predictable. You've rebuilt your metabolism from the inside out, teaching it to burn fat efficiently, not out of starvation, but through balance and rhythm. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't end here. The habits you've built, stable insulin, mindful eating, restorative recovery, can now become part of your long-term lifestyle. Once your body learns this pattern, it remembers it. Now it's your turn to reflect. What week did you usually notice real changes in your body? The first, the second, or the third? The truth is, most people fail to see real fat loss in 3 weeks, not because fasting doesn't work, but because they're unknowingly sabotaging their results with 3 simple mistakes. These are the traps that make people believe fasting stopped working or that their metabolism is broken, when in reality, their hormones are just being confused every single day. Once you understand these mistakes and fix them, your results become predictable, steady, and visible. The first and most damaging mistake is over-fasting. It sounds counterintuitive because fasting is supposed to burn fat, right? But when you push your fasts too long, especially without proper nutrition during your eating window, your body starts adapting in the wrong way. Instead of burning fat, it starts conserving energy, slowing metabolism, lowering thyroid output, and even breaking down lean muscle for fuel. You might see the scale drop, but it's often water and muscle, not fat. Your energy crashes, your sleep gets disrupted, and your hunger cues go wild. That's your body's way of begging for balance. The fix? Fasting smarter, not longer. For most people, 16:8 or 18:6 gives all the metabolic benefits without triggering a stress response. Pair your fasting schedule with nutrient-dense carnivore meals, fatty ribeye, eggs, liver, and butter to nourish your hormones. Protein and natural fats tell your body it's safe, which means it can release stored fat instead of clinging to it. The second mistake is under-eating protein. This one's sneaky because fasting often suppresses appetite and people assume eating less is better. But protein is the thermostat of your metabolism. It dictates how many calories your body burns at rest. Without enough of it, you lose muscle tone, slow your fat burning rate, and start feeling tired and weak. Every cell in your body needs amino acids to rebuild, recover, and stay metabolically active. Without them, fat loss stalls completely. The fix here is simple but powerful. Break your fast with high-quality protein first, like steak, eggs, or salmon. Make sure each meal provides at least 30-40 grams of protein minimum. This sparks thermogenesis, stabilizes insulin, and signals your body to stay in fat-burning mode. When you combine that with fasting, you get the best of both worlds: repair and burn. The third mistake is breaking fasts with insulin spiking foods. This one destroys results faster than anything else. You fast all day, your insulin drops beautifully, your body's burning fat. And then you break your fast with something light, like yogurt with berries, a smoothie, or even coffee with creamer and stevia. Instantly, insulin shoots up, blood sugar spikes, and fat burning shuts off. You go from fat burning to fat storing in seconds. Many people think they're fasting clean, but hidden sweeteners and carbs are enough to undo hours of progress. The fix is to break your fast with pure protein and fat only. Start with eggs cooked in butter, a small piece of steak, or even a few bites of salmon with salt. Wait 15-30 minutes before adding anything else. This keeps insulin flat and lets your body transition smoothly from fasting to feeding. Once you build that habit, you'll notice your hunger stabilizes, your energy stays consistent, and your fat loss becomes visible week by week. Now let's talk about the illusion of fat loss versus real fat loss. Water weight can drop overnight. That's what happens when you cut carbs or first start fasting. But true fat loss takes hormonal alignment. It happens when insulin is low, cortisol is stable, and your metabolism feels safe enough to burn, not store. That's why consistency matters more than intensity. When you fast moderately, eat enough protein, and break your fast cleanly, your body stays in that fat burning zone for longer each day. So if you've been fasting but not seeing results, it's likely one of these three mistakes is standing in your way. The exciting part is the moment you fix them, your body responds almost immediately. Energy returns, hunger disappears, and fat loss finally becomes visible and sustainable. Which of these mistakes do you think has been secretly slowing your progress? When it comes to fat loss, where what you eat matters. But when you eat, it can completely change how your body responds. Timing is everything. Your metabolism, your hormones, even your energy throughout the day all follow a natural rhythm called the circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock. And when you align your eating pattern with that rhythm, you can accelerate fat burning effortlessly. But when your meals fight against it, even perfect fasting can stall progress. Here's the truth most people don't realize: your metabolism has as fat burning hours and storage hours. In the morning and early afternoon, cortisol and insulin sensitivity are naturally higher. This is when your body is primed to use food as energy, not store it. But as the day goes on, metabolism slows, insulin sensitivity drops, and anything you eat late at night is far more likely to be stored as fat. That's why two people can eat the same meal, one at noon, one at 10 p.m., and get completely different results. This is where nutrient timing becomes powerful. If you're following a fasting schedule like SEER 1608 or 24s, the best strategy is to place your eating window in the daylight hours, not late at night. For example, breaking your fast around 10 or 11 a.m. and finishing your last meal by 6 p.m. works in sync with your body's hormonal curve. Insulin rises and falls smoothly, cortisol naturally tapers off in the evening, and your body can enter deep, restorative sleep, the time when growth hormone peaks and fat burning deepens. When you eat too late, even carnivore-style foods can interfere with these rhythms. Insulin stays elevated into the night, cortisol doesn't drop, and instead of burning fat while you sleep, your body shifts into repair and storage mode. You might wake up feeling puffy or heavy even if you didn't overeat. That's not about calories. That's about timing. To get the most out of your fasting window, use those early hours strategically. During your fast, hydrate deeply, add a pinch of salt or electrolytes to your water to maintain energy and mental clarity. When it's time to break your fast, start with high-protein, fatty foods like eggs, steak, or salmon. This combination signals your body to stay in fat-burning mode while feeding your muscles. Your first meal sets the metabolic tone for the rest of the day, so keep it simple, clean, and rich in real nutrients. The middle of the day is your metabolic peak. This is when you can handle slightly higher portions of fat and protein. Your digestive enzymes are most active, and your body efficiently turns fuel into energy, not fat. Think of this as your performance window: eat to nourish, not to fill. By evening, shift back into lightness. If you choose to eat a second meal, keep it small and easy to digest. Maybe some eggs, fish, or bone broth. This allows insulin to settle before bed and helps your body enter the deep fat-burning phase overnight. You'll notice that when you eat this way, you wake up leaner, more refreshed, and naturally less hungry the next day. Timing also affects your hormones. Early meals help regulate cortisol, preventing those late night stress spikes that lead to cravings. Proper meal timing also supports leptin and ghrelin, your hunger hormones, which align with daylight when you're consistent. When your hormones follow a natural rhythm, fasting feels easy. You're not forcing your body, you're flowing with it. So instead of obsessing over eating less, start focusing on eating in syncs. If your body's rhythm is respected, it rewards you with faster fat loss, calmer hunger, and better sleep. You don't need to cut more calories, just eat in harmony with your biology. Experiment for a week. Try finishing your meals earlier and notice how your body responds. You might find that you sleep better, digest easier, and burn fat faster without any extra effort. Do you feel better eating earlier or later? And how has that affected your fat loss? The real magic begins after the 3-week transformation, not just in what you see in the mirror, but in how you feel, think, and live around food. This is where short-term results evolve into a long-term, as effortless, fat-burning lifestyle. The key is learning how to sustain your progress without slipping back into old habits or triggering rebound weight gain. And that all comes down to one powerful concept: that there's metabolic flexibility. Your body's ability to switch smoothly between using fat and glucose as energy, depending on what's available. After 3 weeks of focused fasting and carnivore style eating, your metabolism is finally trained to burn fat efficiently. You've lowered insulin, stabilized hunger hormones, and taught your body how to tap into stored energy rather than constantly depending on carbs or snacks. But now you want to maintain that adaptability. The goal isn't to stay in a strict fast forever. It's to create a rhythm that feels sustainable, empowering, and natural. The simplest way to do this is through our flexible cycling. Alternate between fasting and mindful refeed days to keep your metabolism responsive. For example, maintain a 16 ASARS fasting schedule most days of the week, eating within an 8-hour window and fasting for 16 hours. And once or twice a week, allow a slightly longer eating window or a higher calorie refeed day. This doesn't mean binging or adding junk food. It means eating until full with nutrient-dense, high-protein and fat-rich meals. The purpose is to remind your metabolism that food is abundant and to prevent adaptive slowdown. You can think of this phase as metabolic breathing. Fasting is the exhale L, burning stored energy. And refeeding is the inhale S, refueling with quality nutrients. The balance of the two creates a body that stays lean without constant restriction. Over time, this rhythm helps you maintain steady energy, balanced hormones, and a healthy relationship with food. When it comes to food choices, stay anchored in what's already working: animal-based nutrition. Keep your meals centered around protein and fat: steak, eggs, fish, butter, and organ meats if you enjoy them. These foods keep insulin low and hunger in check, making fasting almost effortless. Occasionally, you can add in small amounts of low-toxin, whole carb sources like fruit or honey to support thyroid function and hormonal health if your body feels flat or fatigued after long fasting cycles. Beyond nutrition, as environment design becomes crucial in this phase. The people, places, and routines around you either reinforce your new habits or quietly pull you back. Keep your environment clean and minimal. Stock your kitchen with the foods that align with your goals. Plan your meals ahead and remove triggers that tempt you toward mindless eating. Even something as simple as dimming lights after sunset and creating a calm nighttime routine supports better sleep, which in turn keeps fat-burning hormones like leptin and growth hormone optimized. Self-accountability is the next layer. At this stage, the external motivation, that initial excitement of transformation, starts to fade and discipline must become internal. Use tools like journaling, progress tracking, or weekly check-ins with a community or coach to keep yourself honest. Reflect not just on physical changes, but also on mindset shifts. Are you more patient, less reactive, more confident in your body? That's real transformation, not just fat loss, but freedom from old food patterns. Finally, the psychological side of long-term success comes down to Anna's gratitude and awareness. Celebrate your discipline. Notice how much more energy, focus, and self-control you've built. Gratitude rewires your brain to associate this lifestyle with empowerment rather than restriction. You start to crave feeling good instead of just eating for comfort. The 3-week challenge may have kickstarted your fat-burning journey, but sustaining it means turning these new habits into identity. You don't do fasting. You are someone who eats intentionally. You don't try carnivore. You choose nourishment that makes you thrive. Imagine what another 30 days of consistency could do, not from a place of pressure, but from momentum. Would you like a 30-day group challenge version of this plan? Comment yes if you join, and let's build a community that sustains results together.